Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to another episode of TLC Karmic Coaching, where we pause, reflect, and lean all the way into truth and transform. Today's conversation isn't just a moment, it's a marker, a thread between history, spirit, and the everyday spaces where freedom is still being contested. And to help us hold that thread with depth and insight, I've invited a special guest. He doesn't sugarcoat, he doesn't sidestep, he reads the room. He reads the moment, and if necessary, he reads you too. So get ready because seated at the desk, broadcasting from the frequency of no lies detected, is none other than Stan Reed. Stan, welcome to the space.
Thank you, TLC. Always an honor to share space where truth doesn't whisper, it speaks. And today we're diving into something deeper than headlines. We're talking about legacy, vibration, and the moments that test whether the world is ready to respect what it claims to recognize. So let's not waste time. Let's read this moment together.
Stan, what significant act occurred in Galveston, Texas during the summer of 1865? Can you tell us about it?
In the summer of 1865, Galveston became the stage for a long overdue declaration. On June 19th, Union General Gordon Granger arrived with over 2,000 troops and issued General Order No. 3, announcing that all enslaved people in Texas were free. The act wasn't just for freedom, it was for recognition, for dignity, for the enforcement of a truth that had been delayed for over 2 years. That moment birthed what we now call Juneteenth, a day that echoes the call for absolute equality.
Stan, since TLC Karmic Coaching is a channel about numerology and other spiritual things, can you give us some insight on June 19th, 1865? It appears to vibrate to the number 9 in numerology. What does the vibration tell us?
The 9. That's the number of completion, culmination, and soul wisdom. It's the final single-digit number, meaning it carries the lessons of all the numbers before it. A 9 vibration is about humanitarianism, justice, and spiritual maturity. It doesn't just end a cycle, it prepares the ground for something higher. So when Juneteenth vibrates to a 9, it's not just marking the end of slavery in Texas. It's calling us to rise into collective healing, to close karmic loops, and to walk in truth with compassion and courage.
Speaking of truth and courage, let's talk about what happened recently at Synergy Auto Care. Stan, it seems like the spiritual thread of Juneteenth, freedom, dignity, completion, showed up recently in a very modern setting. Here's a clip of what happened at the store.
Why are the banks closed tomorrow?
Juneteenth, the new holiday they did a few years ago.
Okie dokie then.
I know, right? Pull my fucking truck. Pull my truck around. Please. Pull my truck around. And give me my keys to my truck. I don't want this done. Please go get my truck. Thank you. Is it this one right here?
Yeah, no, it's a Berkeley taco.
Hey, Matt, we said Juneteenth was the holiday tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not like
You got mad about it?
here. He was like,
Yeah, that's why the banks were closed for the first Juneteenth.
I don't even know what is Juneteenth.
Exactly, nobody really knows, but I think it's something to do with reparations or something.
Yeah.
It did, and it was subtle but sharp. Let's first recap what was said in the video. A woman visited Synergy Auto Care in Wilson, North Carolina. While there, she overheard a conversation between an employee and a customer about why banks were closed. The employee said, "Juneteenth, a new holiday." And the customer responded with a sarcastic "okie dokie." Another employee chimed in and laughed. But here's where it gets even more telling. One of them said, "It has something to do with reparations or something." That wasn't ignorance. That was awareness wrapped in dismissal. And that woman? She knew exactly what was being coded. She stood up and said, "Give me my truck, I'm done." No drama, no chaos. Just a decision to not shrink in the face of spiritual mockery. And while the business later tried to downplay it, saying their employee didn't understand Juneteenth, then why did he mention reparations? He knew enough. The lie wasn't just in the footage, it was in the response.
That's exactly what I thought, Stan. My thought was, why is he saying it has something to do with reparations if he doesn't understand what's going on? I hate when people try to lie. So my next question for you, Stan, is what's the karmic echo here?
The karmic echo is this: you can't profit from people's labor or presence while dishonoring their legacy. That woman didn't just exit a business, she disrupted a lineage of silence. And that moment vibrated with the number 9 too, the end of pretending not to hear, not to know, and not to be accountable.
Stan, before we move on, I want to pause and name something plainly. For those who might still be asking, what's the big deal? This woman wasn't just reacting to a comment. She was the only black person in a room of about 6 or 7 white individuals who were chuckling over Juneteenth. Now imagine that. Imagine being surrounded by people who look nothing like you, laughing about a day that marks your ancestors' delayed freedom. Who wouldn't feel mocked? Who wouldn't feel like the laughing stock of the room?
You just named it, T. That's not hypersensitivity, that's discernment. That's spiritual alertness. Because it wasn't just what they said, it was the collective body language, the tone, the historical weight in the room. The chuckles weren't innocent. They echoed every room where black folks have had to smile through disrespect just to get through the moment. She didn't overreact. She interrupted a script, the one that says, "Take the insult quietly so we can all keep pretending." Well, she didn't. She pulled the truth into the light, and sometimes that's the most revolutionary thing a person can do.
So let me say this plainly for those who still feel unsure. She wasn't angry. She was aware. That woman was in a room where her presence was isolated, her history made the butt of a joke, and her discomfort dismissed before it was ever spoken. That's not just a bad day at a business. That's the residue of a collective wound still unhealed. And the moment she stood up, that was legacy speaking. That was spirit saying, "You are not invisible." For those who've ever felt that heat rise in your chest, that sting behind your eyes, not because someone shouted, but because everyone snickered, you know what I'm talking about. You were never crazy. You were never too sensitive. You were just awake.
And when you're awake, you don't let the room set your worth. You walk out with your dignity intact and your head held high. That's the power of presence. That's the echo of Juneteenth. Truth entering the space where delay used to live.
Well, there you have it, folks. Stan has read the room and read it with precision. And just like TLC Karmic Coaching, Stan Reed only speaks the truth. No sugar, no spin, just soul level clarity. If you felt this moment, don't keep it to yourself. Follow Stan Reed on Substack or subscribe to his YouTube channel. Trust me, the truth keeps flowing and the room keeps shifting. Bye, Stan.
See you later, T. Stay buckled up, truth seeker.